Hi everyone, welcome to today. We've got Talia in the chair today, and I've not met Talia before, as you've probably heard with a few of my clients, but now it's a chance to find out what we're going to do straight away. So we're going to jump straight into the consultation and find out what we're going to do today. Talia, how are you doing today?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. Actually, I'm going to come take a seat.
Okay.
So tell me what we're doing today. You want to lose length, keep length?
Yes, I want to lose length, maybe here.
So we're here at the moment.
Yeah.
You want to bring the length up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that.
Nice. Into a bob kind of area, like long bob, or still want to keep some length so it sits below the collarbone, below the shoulder?
Maybe a little bit above, like right,
Yeah.
I'm thinking like right here.
So when it hits here, because of the shoulders, it's going to sit and it's going to run the risk of kicking out.
Okay.
So if you want it to sit straighter at the front, I recommend we go about an inch or so longer, just to maintain the length so it can come over the shoulder and sit, just past that collarbone.
Okay.
Because if it's up here, it's going to hit it and the shoulders and influence the direction and watch it kicking out.
Perfect, let's do that.
So that's just a little bit longer?
Yeah.
Perfect. And you're looking for it to be straight at the front, you want it to be a bit heavy, so look a little bit sort of heavier in there, or do you want something that's a bit more sort of textured and wispy on the perimeter, like you've got now?
Yeah, maybe a little textured.
A little bit more textured, so a bit sort of softer in that perimeter.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then you're thinking anything around the face, do you want to sort of lighten up some layers here? Do you like it messy?
Yeah, yeah.
With 3 kids and stuff, you're like, I need it to sit easy.
It is up most of the time,
Okay.
so
definitely keep the front longer so it can tie back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you use clips or grips or anything?
mostly just scrunchies,
Just
hair
and stuff.
ties.
Yeah. So definitely keep the front nice and long, so that can sort of come back.
Yeah.
That's got to go. Perfect.
Yep.
And then, do you like layers? Do you want movement to it? Do you want to see something going on around here, these areas?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
Perfect. So just a nice sort of shadow result, similar to what we've got, but just a lot shorter, a lot squarer, a bit sort of different kind of feel to it. Lovely. Matt, come around the back. I want to show you just some of the areas here. So through the consultation, we know we're going to go through and work a length that's going to be just longer than the shoulder. So with the long length we have through here, I'm definitely going to take it up to middle of the back, middle of the shoulder blades. So a good, sort of 6 inches off, let's say. And I'm going to work a nice point cut through that so it's nice and shattered. And then I'm going to work a little bit of a detail around the front, keep that nice and square, nice and heavy. So we'll be cutting the front first, just to get that detail before I sort of move through to the back. I've done that in one of my other videos. I think it was the arrow cut we worked that technique on, but here we'll be working square across the back for a slight different result and shape. But yeah, and then just soften the front and get some texture.
Yeah, that sounds
Excellent.
great.
And then tell me how you dry your hair at home. Do you work
Typically hair dryer.
Hair dryer?
Yeah.
So do you ever use the iron, straighten it, or just blow dry it straight?
I blow dry it with a brush.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's nice and smooth.
If I have time.
If you have time.
If I have time.
Talia has 3 kids, so time is really, really important to make sure the haircut is smooth, easy, time efficient for you. Excellent. Well, I know what we're going to do. Let's go to the basic and give you shampoo.
Are you from England?
I certainly am. Yeah.
Which part? Like where?
South London.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was good you guessed it. Most people go, you from Australia? And I'm like, no.
No, I lived in Australia for a little bit.
Oh, you did? So, you
I would
know
know, the accent's quite different.
Yes. I'm actually off to England tonight.
What was that?
I'm off to England tonight.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I've got a photo shoot over there.
Do you still have family there?
Yes. Yeah, mum's over there, sister, her kids all over there. So.
Oh, okay. How long are you going to be there?
Just 10 days. I got a week of work, or 60, week work, and then
okay.
And then go to see them for a couple of days.
What made you move over here?
Work brought me over. So I was with a company called Tony and Guy, and they were launching a product line over here called Label M, and I came over to help launch that.
What was it that you launched?
A product line, a hair product line.
Oh, okay.
So, shampoos, conditioners, and all that kind of stuff. So I came over to help launch that. In that meeting, someone ended up staying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was as easy as that. And now,
you're still here.
Still here, 12, 13 years later, I think it is now. In 2010 I came over.
I came over here around the same time, actually.
I
moved here, yeah.
From?
Originally, we're from Canada.
Oh, yeah.
And then I grew up in like northern Washington. We moved to California, and then I moved from California up here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I met my husband, and so I stayed.
Yes, it. That's what we do.
Yep.
So whereabouts in Canada?
BC.
Oh, nice.
We moved from Coquitlam near White Rock.
White Rock. Oh yeah, White Rock. That's on the coast opposite.
Yeah, right on the water there.
I have been there and had my picture taken next to the rock.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Supposedly the best fish and chips.
Oh, they do.
Close to, yeah.
Yes.
That's
We
it.
we
In
just
English, I go
moved.
straight to fish and chips. That's right.
Yeah. My siblings and I, we were all born in White Rock.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I went to a salon in White Rock. It was like in this old converted house, sort of on top of the hill, just back from the beach.
Okay.
It was a beautiful place, yeah.
I haven't been back in years.
They haven't.
We used to go, my grandparents lived, we lived right across the border, so we used to go, but they just lived more inland, so we didn't go too deep into Canada to visit.
Because you can see America from there, can't you? It's opposite.
You can, yeah.
What's it opposite? What's the city in America?
There's Birch Bay, Semiahmoo.
What's the one I'm thinking of? Peninsula, I can't think. Anyway, but they was pointing it out to me when I was there.
Okay.
Yeah. That's funny you're from there.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've been in Canada. I've been in Victoria, and had my picture taken with the mile zero, signpost and that on the island, and then been to White Rock as well. Been all around that BC area.
Yeah, we used to go to Vancouver Island all the time. My parents have really good friends that live over there.
Oh, nice. Everyone goes to the Empress, don't they? Sees the lights. I've done an event in the Marriott opposite, which was really nice.
Where was it?
The Marriott Hotel opposite the Empress.
Okay.
Yeah. So who's your husband? What's his name?
Oh, Charles.
That's
Sorry.
Charles, that's it.
Charles, yeah.
Yes, Charles is the only one I haven't met.
He cuts his own hair.
Does he cut his own
He
hair?
does.
That's it, yes.
He's gotten a lot better. Cuts my boy's hair too now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've cut everybody. Yeah, everybody except Charles.
Yeah.
Done now.
Sandy probably calls him Chuck or Chucky, but
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she calls him, I think, Chuck, and then everyone else calls him Charles. When I was chatting with
Yeah.
Jason, anyone I was talking about the other day.
It's been he asked me to start calling him Charles a couple years ago, so it took me a bit because I've been calling him Chuck this whole time.
Oh, you had?
Yeah, so I'm finally used to it,
Yeah.
but it took a couple of years. So you've met everyone else then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I believe everybody except him. And even some of the other halves as well. So Tanya's other half came in once.
Tanya's?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When they was here, and I think Rachel's other half, I think I met once, I think maybe. Rings a bell. Going back years though.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got Talia's hair all combed through. I went through just a little bit of oil just to go through and just to nourish into the cuticle, into the ends, just to make sure it's just nice and smooth. That will help to penetrate in as I'm blow drying later in as well. I like to put cutting lotion in and oil to help detangle, but to also work through for the finish, because it just makes the hair softer and a bit smoother also. Putting it in sooner allows the hair to absorb the product a little bit more. So that's what I went through today. That's with a nice oil. My one was the photo oil from Leaf and Flower, a brand that we carry here in the salon. So today with the haircut, I don't want to go through and section too much and map it all out first. I want to keep this haircut a little bit looser, a little bit softer, more of an organic kind of feel. I know Talia goes through and blow dries her hair or straightens it with the iron so it's nice and smooth. And as you can start to see that little bit of wave starting to come into the hair, so there is a little bit more of a bounce and a little bit more of a shrinkage we have to work with as we go through and touch the hair, so we don't put too much tension on it. We want to make sure our finger tension is nice and loose, nice and soft, so we get a cleaner, more precise cut. So with that, again, I don't want to map the haircut out. I'm going to work sort of quite organic within the shape. I'm going to work through with the one length first of all, and then I'm going to work through and put the layers in and around the face. I mentioned through the consultation that I want to go through and work the length at the front first, so that I will continue to do that. And if you remember, the reason by doing that is when we think about the head shape, when we think about the result of the haircut we're working on, I want the area at the front to be nice and solid, nice and strong. I want a lot of weight in the front. If I come everything back and cut it square and then I bring it forward, the hair's going to come to a point. I could go through and then take the corner off, but I want to make sure that's just a little bit stronger. So to do this technique today, I'm going to be working through my corner area at the back. This is going to be a really good point to work through on the head because it equals out the area at the front and the back as well, allowing us to then have a strong shape through the front, but then adjust the perimeter of the back according to what we like. So we can work to a point in the back, we can work square, we can work an A-line kind of finish to it. Gives us a little bit more scope and just another way to work a haircut. We always find we get our favorites, we do our same techniques, but sometimes it's nice to step out of our comfort zone and do things a little bit differently. So this is one of the techniques that you can do to create a one length with some strength and squareness at the front, but a little bit differently. So to work that, I will just work a parting straight down to that corner hairline, and I'll subdivide the area at the back and then at the front, comb that forward. I will do this on this side, so again, work naturally. Looking at where the hair naturally wants to fall, very importantly on any haircut, always work to the natural fall of the hair. That's going to be the most simplest and effective way to have the correct haircut sit where you want it to sit or lie, because that way, the hair is going to sit naturally for our client. So with those two areas subdivided, I'm going to go through and start to cut in the front, and then I'll incorporate the back afterwards. So we're going to comb down. Again, going to comb the hair to natural fall. As it starts to hit the shoulder, I will then turn around and find my guide. This section is too large to cut. That's a big section to cut with my scissors. It will create graduation, so I'm going to subdivide this in half, making sure I have enough hair at the front on the smaller area and enough hair at the back, my larger area. So that will give us a strong indication of shape. I'm going to use a little clip to clip the hair up out of the way. Grab my scissors, which one we're going to use today. I'm going to work with my new ones because it has my name on them, so I love them. And here we go to go through and to work with these. Clip plug with my name on my scissors. I feel very proud I've got my name on the scissors now. So thanks Bobby at Shear Enterprises for putting some name on the scissors for me. I'm going to comb that down. And as we comb down, we're going to find our guide to length. So lengthwise, we want it to maybe sit over the shoulder so we can choose our length. I think here's going to be optimal for me. Does that feel good?
Yeah.
Perfect. So come down, find that guide. Then point cut that length off. And we do want a shattered result through the front, so I'm just point cutting to start. Find that guide again, work through, and point cut. That's looking good for me. I'm going to work the next section. Comb down. And follow that same guide. On this second section, make sure my point cut is a little bit more vertical, so the blade is going a bit more vertical to the hair shaft, and a slightly bit deeper as well for that result. Come all the way through again. Make sure I'm not missing any hair. Perfect. And then anything else that comes into play, I know I'm going to cut in the back. I want to go shorter. Want to go shorter?
Sounds good.
Okay, let's go shorter. That's it, let's do it. So to go shorter, we're not going to rush and just try and do the whole section. We're going to just take the same section itself, comb down, and just follow the same technique until we find that perfect length. Another inch shorter. Just rinse and repeat the technique. But again, being very conscious And cautious not to go too short, so as it starts to hit the shoulder, it starts to kick out. So just being cautious of that as we do move it up. Yeah, that's going to be good. There we go, drop the top down. It's about World War II, is that plane going over? It sounds like a World War II plane. A little prop plane, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. I guess they have that little airport over there.
Yeah, we do, yeah, we have the little Pearson airfield. One of mine and Jack's friends is a pilot, and he's taken us up in the little prop planes, like little Cessnas, so we have, we've been in those little ones around the area, had little tours, which is lovely.
I should take my boys there. They'd like that.
Oh, nice, yeah. Yeah, they do have a little museum there, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I've taken my oldest there, but
oh, nice.
my second would really like it. They're going to Monster Jam tomorrow, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's the fun stuff, Monster Jam.
I know.
Do a little plug for Monster Jam, but by the time this video gets aired, it'll be gone, so we won't. Doesn't work. That's it. Unlucky Monster Jam. Combing down, hitting the shoulder, working round. I can see my comb is now going across and meeting my guy, so that gives me a good indication of what length I'm working towards. I can work my fingers square to the comb, elevate out, and then point cut, nice and parallel, all the way through. That shape, keep my fingers there, comb back down again to that position. So I know I'm nice and square, keeping consistent. Consistency, as we know, is key. All the way. I'm not worried about any little bits over here because they will naturally get taken off when I put the hair towards the back. And there we go. Let's go and check the balance. Looks good. A little bit longer this side. We like that because we can do that again. And just follow the same technique. And once this is in place, it then just gives us a really nice foundation and a starting point to work the rest of the haircut. As I was saying, as a plane, it could just be the air blower.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that plane's lovely. Where is it? Can't
keeps
see it.
coming back and
Guy
forth.
comes past with an air blower, blowing all the leaves around. So did you study history or anything? Or was it subject for yourself?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Did you study history or anything?
I didn't. I studied criminology, actually.
Oh, what's criminology? The study of criminals, I guess.
Yeah, it's just crime, everything in the United States. It's been a few years since I got my degree. I haven't actually used it, so.
Oh, okay.
I finished after my son was 1 or 2, and I wanted to stay home, so, but I have it.
Nice.
Yeah, just the study of, we studied the prisons and crimes, what causes crimes.
Oh, interesting.
All sorts of, yeah.
And there we go, perimeter is complete. We're going to go through and now work the back to finish the shape. So yes, tell me more about that. That feels like a crazy kind of sort of study.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what I wanted to, actually what I originally wanted to do was work in anti-human trafficking. That was my goal. So I interned with Shared Hope International. They actually used to have an office down here. I wanted to help people get more aware of what was going on.
Yeah.
And,
I always think, I travel a lot and I have this thought, because you know the sign, have you seen that? Is that?
Oh, I've seen that like on social media, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm always in an airport, in Atlanta a lot.
Oh, okay.
And that's one of the, they say like one of the.
Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a huge hub for it, and they say it's, you hear it over the tannoys. So I'm walking in, because I'm here, I'm always like looking for that the hand thing. It's a horrible thing to think.
Oh, it is.
As you're traveling, but yes.
I-5 is actually one of the biggest corridors going up from Canada to Mexico.
The I-5?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I think one thing that people don't realize is that it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people just think it's, you know, in these like third world countries or.
Yeah, somewhere else.
Yeah, but I mean, it's everywhere. So yeah, that was the biggest thing, was getting people to be more aware of what to look for, of just
Yeah.
like a girl just walking down the street, and how to kind of see the signs if, you know, a lot. And that's actually the biggest thing, was a lot of people don't realize is it's girls or boys that they can still be in school, they can still live at home, and they're being trafficked. And so talking in high schools was a big one, because you want to let people know, or other students know, to be aware, because if they're aware of their friends and what's going on, then they can hopefully tell somebody. But
so there's abduction as well.
There is, but it's not actually as common as people think. Most of it has to do with social media now is huge. So somebody on social media talking with a younger person from high school, most specifically more vulnerable kids, maybe kids whose parents work, and so they're at home, and so they kind of start to groom them, start to build a relationship. So they think they're having this relationship with this older person. One of the signs would be, you know, these girls all of a sudden getting new clothes or purses, these gifts, and then they build a relationship, and then that boyfriend, hey, do this for me, and that's kind of how it starts most of the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can see that perimeter, we've kept it very shattered. We've worked a larger section, worked a bigger point cut. The scissors have been vertical going into the hair shaft as we're cutting, really just creating that messier result to it. As you move that around, as you shake it, you can start to see that texture. Once we dry, we're going to tilt the head forward and recut into all of that to soften, or to strengthen actually, the perimeter itself. But that's given me a really nice base to work through. So as it does move through the front, move around, it has that messier shape to it, nice and soft. But that's the beauty of point cutting into a perimeter, to create some texture and a softer feel. Now we're going to work through the layers at the front to give them a lot more softness, and then we're going to start to dry. I'm thinking, do we want to put layers in? I'm sort of like thinking I quite like the one length kind of feel, honestly.
Okay.
So I may even do the layers dry once I've cut it, just to see how it sits, and I may even put the layers in just as a finish.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm quite liking the weight, but I'll decide that as I go.
Would you, if it is one length
Yep.
versus layers, would it look thicker? Because I have pretty thin hair.
Yeah, it will look thicker.
Then maybe we would just.
So that's why I might just put like a
Okay.
soft layer in. So like with Sandy's hair, you know, we just layer just the top area, so it has something that moves, but it's not a strong one length.
Okay.
I might just do that for you.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to do that dry.
Okay.
Yeah, just to see. So everyone, as you saw just that conversation then about the layers, Talia does have quite fine hair. And by looking at the shape on how it sits now, like the one length is looking really good, it's looking really strong, it's looking solid. Having that thought process as I'm working through the haircut, you know, do I want to change it, do I want to evolve and adapt as we're working through, is really important. Because you can, it's creative. You know, I'm creating art with my client as I'm going through the haircut, looking at everything all the time. So by seeing this, I'm really liking it. I don't want to go through and layer and allow the hair to layer so much that it gets weaker on the perimeter, but also with the layers, we run the risk of it actually sitting into the nape a little bit and forcing the hair to kick out. So by keeping it just that little bit heavier on the perimeter, we maintain that heavier, longer one length feel, that stronger square result. And once it's dry, we can just elevate and just soften the crown area, just to break up some areas, and then just soften the face a little bit. So I've decided to go through and just leave it as a one length and check the layers once it's dry. But before we do that, we are going to go through and cut into the shape around the face. So I'm going to go through very cautiously and keep as much strength in that corner as possible. So I've just worked a little parting diagonal back to the front of the ear. So I've got a nice strong corner. I also want to keep a nice long weight here, and I just want to lay it around the face, but because we're working on the diagonal parting, the hair's going to come over and disguise the area on that corner, making it look thicker, but also we can layer around the face a bit more. So a little trick there with the angles of the partings. Combing forward. I'm going to soften this area quite a bit, cutting into it. Form a detail. And I know it's very fine hair, and I'm making it even weaker this way. And I'm sure somebody like, don't do that, don't do that. But as we go through to blow dry, knowing we blow dry all the time, and knowing that we go through and run the irons through it and we strengthen it up, I'm doing just enough that it's giving me just a little bit more separation, a little bit more detail through the front, but it won't make it weak or frizzy or fluffy. It's going to give me just enough shape. So I'm confident I'm creating the right result. I'm now going to do the same thing. A little key thing here is I'm not going into the top hairline. I want to maintain that structure. So I'm just going directly behind it. These are those real small nuances that I find are really nice and really important to work with when working like a little layer or when working a technique for the extra details. I'm going to point cut that corner off, and then I'm going to go through and cut into that corner. So as that then softens through to the back, I then have layers now working in the area, which sits even softer. As you can see, this hair will come over once that's dry. So that will give me that heavier one length feel, but the layers will come out from underneath and behind it. Softening that shape, but also maintaining maximum strength. Rather than always working on top, again, of the haircut, I'm starting to work underneath a little bit so we can have two different shapes. If we did brush the hair back in this way, you'd then expose those layers even more, and you'd have more layers coming back over the haircut. So it's a way to give another dimension to what we're doing within the overall shape. Same process will be done on this side. Working that diagonal back first. Here we want to make sure we're cautious of the length, again knowing that we pull the hair back a lot. This will come back still. This again is going to come back. I'm going to work to this side. I'm going to work from this corner first of all, just so I don't lose my corner. I've got a strong recession. I do actually want to keep this corner here. That for me is going to be really important. So I'm actually just going to work this side, because we are working a stronger side parting, a little bit further towards the front. Just cutting into that shape, and then detailing that perimeter visually as I'm working up towards the jaw. Again, as you can see here, taking a guide inside or underneath of my parting, combing that around. So this now is being worked underneath my one length, making it's going to feel thicker and heavier. Keep that little corner. Going into to finish. There we go. Got a little bit just there. It's looking good. Nice. We can see that now working around with a lot of shatteredness. As that can come over, we can now have that nice strong one length as well. So the cut's done. The cut's all complete. We're there. It's simple, effective. We're going to go through blow dry. We're going to blow dry nice and smooth and put a little bit of lift in it around the top, but pretty much go nice and smooth, nice and forward towards the front. Check the shape, and then we're going to go through work the detailing once it's dry. So as we go through the blow dry, I already know I have the oil in placed in as a foundation, so just need a little bit of a blow dry lotion now, so to give myself a little bit more hold to work through, and then we will blow dry, and I'll see you back for the finish. So cut's in place. I've gone through and dried, just smooth over with the brush. Blow dried it how I want it to sit. I'm now going to go through and work all the detailing. Remember, we worked with large sections, a lot of textures. There'll be a lot of graduation on the perimeters. So we're going to work with the head forward, back, left or right. Make sure we're removing all of that so it sits nice and soft. And then we're going to go through and just work the detail around the face. Make sure that's sitting in nice and perfect, and then we'll be done. And honestly, as I'm looking, I don't think we're going to put any layers in. I think I really like it as it is, but we will double check that as we go through the finish. So first thing I'm going to do is, head's going to go forward, look down at the floor for me. So this is going to be all of the graduation we're going to cut off. It's where you start hearing it's all silent and you can hear the scissors working. I feel it's quite therapeutic hearing this, hearing the scissors work back and forth. Okay, head up for me. It's looking good. I like how that goes from the thickness into the softness. Feel good? Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. As I'm working through the side, I'm really just looking at any areas that might change the shape or make it feel different. As you can start to see, I'm just detailing that perimeter, strengthening up very lightly the area through the front. If I need to just strengthen up into it, I can again cut blunt just across the area, or if I want to cut into it just a little bit more to soften, just to make sure that everything sort of comes down and sits nice and clean. And give it that beautiful shape, so when we move it over to the side, we can then start to see how that sits just around the face itself. So just having that sort of complementary, softer shape as it sits on both sides. And I think with everything, I like that shape. Yeah. Do you feel any layers internally? I'm not. I'm going to show you the back to see what you think. If you want anything in that back area, I think we can put some in. But I'm quite happy with it.
I like it. I don't looks thicker to me, so
Yes,
I
and
like
that's,
this.
that's always a good
That's what I
thing.
want.
So you see just that nice
I know, that looks
thicker
great.
shape. Looks good.
Yeah.
Perfect. There we go. So sometimes we don't need layers, and that's one of the good things. You know, originally I was like, let's put some layers in, you know, soften it. But as we've worked through, we've just really seen that the hair doesn't need it, the shape doesn't warrant it, and it sits really nice as it is. So here we go. I'm going to go through and put a bit more gloss to it, just to detail those ends, really smooth that through. I don't want to put a lot through to make it heavy or too flat. I like the fullness we've got in the shape. I like the lift that we're getting, and again, how it's not hitting the shoulder and kicking out too much. So just a little bit of smoothing through the top, and we'll be done. Let's apply some product. So just a little bit of Smooth Again serum from Kevin Murphy, just to go through and really control that hair, using it as a finishing, but just very light, because I want a bit more control from it, and I'm going to add some shine in just a second. And again, just a little bit of shimmy blonde from Kevin Murphy again. Just put that nice light shine, spraying just around, nothing on the hair. I just want to put that little mist over the top for a bit of shine. So there we go, a nice little finish on Talia's hair. As you can start to see, just as I spin her around, just that beautiful shape around the face. Nothing too much, nothing crazy. Just a really beautiful way to emphasize texture separation around the face, giving it one length, but just with a shadowed perimeter, but keeping it nice and heavy as well. So again, that shadow is not wispy where it's too crazy. That's just a little bit stronger. And it's just that initial inch or so, or half an inch of that perimeter that's broken. It maintains the thickness of the hair, maintains the result of the haircut, and gives a bit more sort of structure as we go through. So there we go. I hope you liked Talia's hair today. I hope you like the techniques, the tips, the tricks, the idea behind how we've created it. I hope you like the products we've used, the blow dries, all of the good things that we've gone through. Again, please do the stuff that I need you to do, the like, the subscribe, make a comment, let's have a chat, ask me any questions you want to, and I will look forward to seeing you in another video. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.